and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we are continuing with our watch of the series Veronica Mars and the accompanying podcast Veronica Mars Investigations. But first, Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist is back after a week off with the episode Zoey's Extraordinary Outburst.
One thing you could say about this episode is it does not lack for songs. We've been, feeling some of them were maybe a little light, but this, you had production numbers, you had people dancing to heart songs, you had people dancing to other songs played. It was just a very musical episode,
yes.
and I liked that.
I liked the production number of
The Boy Is Mine.
Yes, when Joan and Ava, which is Lauren Graham and Renee Lee Goldsberry, were fighting over Max.
Yes,
and that was awesome.
Right, that was fun. And of course, the song at the end, which we felt for a few weeks was coming. Peter Gallagher singing again.
Yes.
And that was very sweet. Zoe's parents get their anniversary dinner, though not at the restaurant, in the backyard, right, but very beautifully done. And then, of course, she hears them both singing and dancing.
Yes.
She hears them both singing and sees them both dancing. It's not a tap dance. She doesn't hear the dance. But that was a lovely scene.
Yes.
Even as you knew it was coming, it was like, oh, I see what they're going to do. That's going to be so good. And it was.
And it's funny because probably because of this whole quarantine situation we're in, at the beginning, I was like, well, why don't they just get takeout from that restaurant? Yeah, because that's right. What all restaurants are doing now.
This is what our head immediately goes to now.
If they're open, they are only open for takeout. So it just...
Yes.
I thought that... Yeah, anyway.
And so it worked out. But
so I could have given them that idea earlier.
And a whole lot of real estate in this particular episode given to the Simon situation, right, which I believe at one point Zoey yells that Simon is boring.
Yeah.
His whole situation is boring. And I'm like, second. No slight to the actor, who is very charming and very talented and, very cute and seems like a likable dude, but oh my goodness, we have been doing this all season. Yes. Will they, won't they? I don't care anymore. Just move on.
Yeah. And I don't know. She said some really awful things, and he was, I don't know, I felt like he was kind of very forgiving, and the little dance off that Mo scheduled for them, it doesn't seem to me like enough to resolve that.
No.
The way they were screaming at each other.
No, it does not. But it is enough for me to say, next time I'm feeling like that, all angry and itchy about something, I'm finding that song on my iTunes, because, man, that was cathartic. That felt good. Just watching them felt good.
Did you stand up and dance along?
I felt like it. I did not. I'm not feeling that way today. But now I do get that thing where you just, I usually hit things and shout, but that would work too. I'm going to have that queued up someplace, all ready to go. I had never thought of that song for that purpose, but yeah, that'd work. So that was a fun scene, even though it was kind of out of nowhere.
It was kind of out of nowhere.
We're doing songs this way now?
Right,
okay, I guess.
This
sure.
Yet another way that songs are used on this show. Okay, well.
Yes. And when she was in Simon's apartment and she starts hearing him singing, and I'm going, that song's familiar. They've used that somewhere before. Who did it before? Oh, yes. It's a reprise. And later on, they said it's a reprise. So, okay. I got it. They didn't just forget.
Right.
They weren't being sloppy. They weren't running out of songs for which they've gotten the rights. It was meant to be a repeat.
Right. That was
Though
deliberate.
with a dance this time. Last time he was just sitting at his desk staring at a photo. So this time he got to do some very interesting and uncomfortable looking dance moves. But
yeah, I think the best dancing was in the production number.
yes.
And
we
then,
do like us a good production number.
Right. And then I liked the waltz between the parents.
Yes, that was very sweet.
The Ed Sheeran
I liked that.
waltz.
It was a lovely end to the episode.
Uh-huh.
And what do we think about Leaf falling in love with Joan?
Well,
I call shenanigans. That seems unlikely.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would be too easy if they were just kind of using each other, each for their own purpose.
I guess, but realistic. I mean, Leaf has not ever seemed like the kind of guy who would start using the boss for his own purposes and then fall in love. That was kind of out of nowhere, I thought.
Right. And also, is Joan the least lovable character on the show, except for maybe Tobin, one of the other
Tobin's getting
coder
more
bros?
Lovable, you know. The recurring sight gag at him and the seafood was kind of fun.
He's got a giant lobster on his desk. Yes.
Yeah. And
so my point stands.
Right. Yes, I agree. I mean, it seemed to go against that character as he had been constructed previously.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't buy that his reaction to Joan saying that would be, "How does Zoey always know exactly what I'm thinking?"
Right.
That also goes against everything this character has been up to now, because the character we've known would be going, "She's nuts. She's crazy.
Denying,
you should,
denying.
So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, doesn't seem right, but he sang well. I enjoyed his little number.
Yes,
singing and dancing around.
Yes, he did.
So that was, I don't know, Max. That whole Max thing. There's never been a sixth floor before. Just all of a sudden,
right? When it became necessary for story reasons.
All of a sudden, there's this whole new land of opportunity.
And also, like, what do they do when they're not doing the chirp? You know what I mean? Like,
that whole thing seems ill-conceived and possibly only exists because they could get Renee Elise Goldsberry, which, okay, that's an okay reason. I'll go with that.
I'm happy to have her. Yeah.
They couldn't figure out anybody else she could be, so she's the sixth floor Joan. It's fine. There's teams all over the place.
And it was fun how on the sixth floor there's a raw bar. On the fourth floor it's oatmeal.
Personally, I would take the oatmeal, but that's me.
Yeah, same. I am not a shellfish person. No. I don't like any of that stuff. Nope.
No, especially not sitting out all day in my workplace and having the smells of that on my coworkers' desks. Ugh. No.
Yeah.
Cereal and oatmeal. Then I'm a fourth floor girl.
Exactly. I will stay there with you. So.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of a double take at the end when they said, next week is the last episode before the last episode. Right. Wait a minute, is that a thing? It's the penultimate episode. This is what we call it. There's a word for it.
Right.
But,
I don't know. That's a pretty big word.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when it seemed like they were saying it was the last episode, that seemed about right. But then there's yet another one. So, okay. Happy to sit down on Sunday nights and watch these and then talk to you about them.
For two more weeks.
2 more weeks. Yes. And then we see whether we have Zoey's Extraordinary renewal.
That's right.
Or Zoey's Extraordinary, that was the last episode. You didn't even know.
Zoey's Extraordinary, goodbye.
But, got my quibbles about about so many things, but I still enjoy sitting down and watching it.
Yeah.
Even at twice the length it should be. I enjoy sitting down and watching it. Just think of it as 2 episodes a night, you know?
Yeah, because there's always a lot happening.
It always could totally be split in half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. We pick because we love.
That's right. Our podcast is sponsored today by Best Fiends, the match and blast puzzle adventure with high-quality visuals, tons of cute characters, and fun ways to level up.
Yeah, I have continued to use it effectively to procrastinate from work. I'm up to level 233. Where are you guys?
Well, I think I'm procrastinating more than you because I'm at level 340.
Whoa!
And I can top that because I'm on level 450.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness. You guys must play better than I do.
I play when I'm watching TV or other things. So, and I've even played some of the side quests like Edward's and JoJo's. So I can really get to know those little guys.
I must not be up to that level yet because I haven't done any of that fancy stuff. I'm just up to the point where there's dynamite and I am enjoying that quite a lot.
And what I like is that there are so many little side games and rewards happening at the same time as you're playing the main game. And you can choose to play those or not, depending on what level of excitement you're in for.
Engage your brain with fun puzzles and collect tons of cute characters. Trust me, with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must-play.
Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
And that's Friends without the R. Best Fiends.
So this week's title for Veronica Mars was Silence of the Lamb, which made us realize it was probably going to feature Sheriff Lamb, or as Veronica likes to call him, Deputy Lamb, which sadly was the case. And we don't like him.
No, we do not.
He's really quite awful.
And I think we can feel fairly certain that the creators of the show do not want us to like him because it is not a subtle portrayal, either in the acting or the writing. So he has just got a big hateful target on him because he's just not nice, but not quite as not nice as the guitar store dude.
Yes.
Who, spoiler, turns out eventually not just to be incredibly annoying, but also a serial killer. So,
yeah. Yes, this one, took quite a turn in seriousness from last week's, who stole the money at the poker game.
That's right.
This one had not only the serial killer, but then it had the whole thing with Veronica's friend Mac, Tina Majorino.
Oh my gosh. That was heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Veronica kids at school started asking her to dig up dirt on their parents. So it was like, haha, this is kind of funny.
Right.
Your dad got busted for buying, what was it?
A narcotic substance at an Eagles concert.
At an Eagles concert. It was all stuff like that until Mac came to town.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be this really, tragic, sad story about baby swap. And spoiler alert, Mac was switched at birth. Wow. This is the kind of thing Veronica found.
Yeah.
So, a lot happened in this episode.
It did. Yeah. That was very affecting, that whole plot, especially the meeting her biological mother and the mother knowing, and both of them knowing but unable to really say anything, and just excellent face acting by Tina Majorino and the actress who played her biological mom.
Right. It was very sad because her effectively adoptive parents, I mean, her parents that are raising her were perfectly lovely. And, she's like, I don't fit in. But, pretty much most teenagers think that at some point, right?
That's right.
So, it was just one of those things where it's like, no matter what happens, it's sad.
It is, absolutely. And, you think about what you would do if you found this out when your kid was 4, sort of the impossibility of just handing over this little person you've just raised. And then at the same time, the unsatisfactoriness of it just saying, well, never mind, we'll just forget this ever.
Right.
We'll take our 1 million and forget this ever happened.
Yeah.
So, eesh. And you live in the same town. One of the families could have moved away, really.
I know, right?
No.
I mean,
Or
obviously, in these days, we would, this should all be out in the open.
Exactly, yeah, as they were saying on the podcast. That's true.
That's not a secret that we want to.
Yes, that should have been what happened. But of course, the person that she switched at birth was the completely obnoxious girl we had just seen at the school.
Right.
Have we ever seen that particular completely obnoxious girl before? There's been so many obnoxious blonde girls that it's hard to keep them all straight.
And I did think it was kind of funny how the two families, like, one was the blonde family and one was the brunette family. And, oh, look, you can tell they're in the wrong house. Because dear.
So odd. But, so that was a nice, interesting subplot. And the main serial killer thing was just all kinds of icky over and over and over again.
Yes.
Everybody that I did not recognize until they mentioned it on the podcast. I have to go back and look. That was Aaron Paul as the creepy guy?
Yeah,
What?
I didn't figure it out while I was watching it, but then when I was listening to it, and I thought about him when he was in that interrogation room, and I was like, oh yeah, that was him.
Yeah, but I never would have. I mean, I didn't watch Breaking Bad, but I've seen abundant pictures of Aaron Paul, so I know who he is.
Same.
And, wow, made me want to, rewind and check it out. On a far less creepy level, Max Greenfield showed up as Leo. I've been waiting for him.
Yeah.
I knew he was coming. In fact, if I did not know that he was a new recurring character, I would have thought, maybe he's the murderer.
I had that thought for a second or two.
They seem to be leading you to have that thought,
Because
I thought at one point.
So, sweet and innocent.
Yes.
I was like, ooh. And then, of course, Veronica got him in trouble, but it was just a week suspension.
Right. And he also doesn't seem to be holding a grudge. It's like, he knows.
No, not at all.
And he's somewhat
and
cool
that
with
was a great scene because Veronica had Weevil come in and distract him so that she could go get into the evidence locker. And so Weevil came in with a noise complaint.
Outraged citizen.
Excellent. Mr. Weevil, he called himself. It was quite good.
So cute.
I enjoyed that.
That was lovely.
Quite a bit.
And then at the end, we get our little dollop of the recurring story. After Veronica has burgled the evidence closet at the police station.
And determined that it was the security guy from Kane Software that was the one who called in the tip about Abel Kuntz. And then she decides to retaliate on him sending the pictures to her mom by sending pictures to him.
He's going to know it was her, right?
I mean...
although I suppose...
it's pretty obvious, but...
He sends out pictures with targets on them on a regular basis. That's kind of his thing. Right. So, he has to go back to look through his files to see all the many, 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 many people he's done that to. But...
he's got drawers full of pictures with gun sights on them.
Oh dear. Veronica, be careful.
Yes, please.
Yes.
This guy's a serious dude.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Yes.
And, it was Keith's many times of being slightly panicked that his daughter was out in the world with a serial killer was kind of adorable.
A serial killer who preyed on vulnerable young women.
Right.
Yes.
So,
as I guess many of them do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once you think about it. So,
speaking of the podcast, I was amused. Even though we're not listening to the podcast in real time, we're just going back to the episodes as we watch it. I'm amused that we were not the only people to say, "Gone with the Wind." Are you kidding me?
Yes, they did have to issue. So they had to just acknowledge their failing there.
Oh, well. We were late in the chastising, but not alone.
Right, exactly.
Aw.
So, well, next week we will carry on with the 12th episode of Veronica Mars, season 1. It is called Clash of the Tritons.
Oh my.
And it'll be the 11th episode of Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist called Zoey's Extraordinary Mother.
Uh-oh.
So, yay for Mary Steenburgen.
That's right. She is indeed extraordinary.
Yes. And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, everyone.